You're now listening to the Something Good Podcast Network. Please press any key to continue.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Don't touch it!
When you're down on the farm, you want to get warm propane.
And on that note, welcome to this week's edition of the Couch Brotatoes. I'm Alex.
Dang old cap.
This is the number one super fan, unbeatable.
Oh, he's already working it up.
Oh, I got it.
You got your trivia ready?
I got it. I got it.
This is going to be fun in a few weeks whenever we wind up
You're going to cry.
My questions are just going to be god awful.
Like,
no, I'm the question master, motherfucker.
like the whole reason I was thinking about you make questions is like to redeem yourself. Like if you get one, if you miss one, I want you to ask me. If you stump me, you get a point.
All right,
like a 10-point saving grace kind of system.
Okay.
Because I'm going to be getting like 100 points.
Look at you. You're just
I feel
like
this
I
is
got
gonna be
this
like
shit.
some good mythical morning situation where like
No, look at it.
where Cap is Link and he's having to get like all the extras. It's like, God damn it!
No, look at him. He's just kind of like scheming over there.
Yeah, just that smug smile.
I see how it is.
Well, as we slowly trail closer to that epic battle between two King of the Hill nerds, it's time for us to dig on into Season 8 of this hometown of Arlen, Texas.
A Boomhauer episode.
Yeah, we
kicks
kick it
off
off.
the season.
We kick it off with a Boomhauer episode with a guest star, Brad Pitt.
Patch.
Yeah.
Patch. And it's funny because especially here in Brad Pitt kind of doing the Boomhauer voice.
Yes.
Yeah, because Boomhauer is already kind of like a Matthew McConaughey, Brad Pitt,
Yeah,
you know.
they already used Matthew McConaughey in the earlier seasons to play Brad Thibodeau Ox.
Yep. Trying to sweep up Luann off her feet.
And
Raw
this
dog
also,
that shit.
and this also had Laura Dern in it.
Yep.
Okay.
Because wasn't that the one where Bobby decides to go into counseling, the school counseling? Because then how Laura Dern's character was introduced as the counselor.
Yeah, well, that's like the end of the season, ain't it? Talking shop.
It says right here, guest stars Brad Pitt as Patch and Laura Dern as Catherine. So unless Laura Dern was on there.
I guess they use her multiple times because she might be at the end.
All right. Well, then I'm wrong. So that's that one. But yeah, Patch just comes up. This honestly there wasn't that much that really happened.
No,
This is one of those ones where they try to make Boomhauer look like a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And even Hank piles on.
I know.
And even Boomhauer's like, I'll fuck you up. Like,
yeah. And then I was saying, I remember on one of the other seasons we were talking about, it's hard to write a Boomhauer-focused episode since his story's kind of vague anyway because nobody can understand what he's saying. But I don't know. That kind of shows another shade of his character as far as his family dynamic because everybody else in his family is basically him.
Yeah, that's right, and that also had the funny scene of the boys with their different bachelor parties.
Yeah.
And Dale getting the ball and chain attached to his.
yeah. That's actually a trope in a lot of shows, like the multiple bachelor parties and stuff like that. I think that's pretty funny.
Yeah, this is what it was. Boomhauer is sulking because he still loves Catherine because Patch is going to marry that chick named Catherine. That's what that is.
And
Catherine's kind of into it, right?
Well, like he had his chance, and it didn't
and just blew it.
And yeah, he blew it, and she thinks, oh, Patch is a good guy. And, like, Boomhauer's like, he's a bigger hound dog than I am. Like,
Yeah.
he's bad. Like, he'll cheat on you constantly. You know, I like to fuck, but like,
He's like, but
I'm still a one-woman
But he's just
man.
like, I love you still.
yeah.
He's like, technically, I'm a one-woman man because I'm not dedicated to any of them. If I'm dedicated to you, you it.
Yeah.
Not him. Yeah, so that was a pretty fun one. So yeah, like you said, they kind of they try to write him off as an asshole, but by the virtue of the actual story, he of course comes out looking good. But it was still kind of an odd episode. But in comparison, the next one, Reborn to be Wild.
Yeah, this had some 41 in it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I actually pulled up the Wikipedia on this, because I always knew that Gene Simmons guest voiced it as the the preacher's dad at the very end.
It's kind of like a roadie or something like that, isn't it?
He was a roadie,
and he's like, did you forget number 3? Honor thy father. And he's like got the fucking 10 Commandments like tattooed on his back and shit. And yeah, so that's the only one I knew. I didn't know that the Sum 41 guys did the voice of the teenagers that Bobby winds up meeting.
You're not making Christianity better. You're making rock and roll worse.
Even Hank's just like not into any of it.
No.
Anything that involves Bobby and music, I think he fucking hates it.
And what I love the entire time, because the kids that Bobby winds up meeting up with are like a bunch of skateboarders, so they start skating in the alley, and Hank's like, those rebellious hellion skateboarders. He goes out there and like all of a sudden he notices like they're wearing like Christian shirts, and Bobby's like, oh, these are my friends. And this one kid like skates up to him. He's like, hey, would you hold my Bible while I do this sick trick? And you don't have to just read it. He's like, you don't have to tell me to read my Bible.
Yeah, he should have backhanded that motherfucker with that Bible.
That's one of those where like sees the Christian value in it, and it's just like, I guess.
But you know what? He actually had a really good point at the end of the episode, because he started going through Bobby's old box, and he was like, hey, do you remember this? Oh, do you remember this? And Bobby's just laughing at it the entire time. Oh, God, I can't believe I used to. Oh, my God. Basically like a Tamagotchi. He's like, oh, my God, my pocket pen. I can't believe I used to do these things. He's like, yeah, what happened to it? You forgot to feed it and water it, and then it died.
Yeah.
And he was like, what about this? And he shows him like an old photo of like rat pants or something. He's like, oh, God, I can't believe I used to think that. He's like, yeah, you used to thought that was the coolest thing. And then he starts showing off some of his own things.
He's basically explained about you're going to go through phases.
Yeah, and he's like, and I just don't want. Shitty one. and then, but he wrapped it up. He was just like, and I just don't want God to show up in this box. And I was just like, well, that's at least a good way for Hank to kind of finally talk to Bobby about something. I guess he usually doesn't.
Yeah, it's a very subtle.
You only get like very few. You see, Bobby. Speeches from Hank.
Yeah.
But the B plot on this, though very brief and odd, but very funny, because I think it was Bill and Dale and Boomhauer decide that they're going to have their last meal, and for some reason Khan overhears this and wants to be involved with it.
Yeah, it's a very weird thing to do.
Yeah,
but it's a very neat thing to do. Like right now, could you think of what you would want for a last meal?
Possibly.
Yeah,
possibly.
Let's sit on it for about a week.
Yeah,
and we'll come back to it. But that's a wild ass thing to think about.
Oh yeah.
If you only had one left in you, that's what you would get.
Right.
Yeah, and I found funny though, they were like sitting there at that big spread at the end of the episode.
Beautiful
they're like,
spread, and they're just like, I can't do it.
Yeah, dig in. They're like, no, you eat first.
I would have died.
And I'm also sitting here going, I'm like, then why did you go through all the trouble of? There was like shrimp and prime rib and like all this expensive shit on the table. I'm like, this is at least like a $300 spread you've got going right here. And you're gonna just let it go to waste,
especially in what, Aught 3.
Yeah.
This is when the series starts doing, making the characters a little bit extra silly like that.
Yeah, this I feel the first time what Chris was talking about, how it almost turns a little bit more slapsticky.
Yeah.
This is the first season it starts really becoming evident, at least in my opinion. Yeah. Especially because the next one, new cowboy on the block.
Yeah, with a Cowboys football player.
Big Willie Lane.
Yeah.
Big Willie Lane. Now, I liked this one.
All because he was famous for doing one goddamn thing.
Yeah, he was like a defensive tackle or something.
He's a defensive lineman, and he blocked a field goal kick.
I'm already fucking up this trivia.
Yeah, but he's you're right. He was a defensive lineman.
Oh,
but he blocked a field goal kick. That's all he did.
Mm-hmm. That's all he was looking for.
And he's got a ring
from that field. From that foot. Here's the football from that block I kick.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's just being an asshole.
Big ass Super Bowl ring.
Yeah,
the Cowboys won it last because that's
all he has.
That's all he has because he's a fucking washout.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And this has what's his name? Oh fuck! He plays in the show every now and then.
Fred Willard.
Fred Willard is in this. He plays a cop.
Yeah, he kind of becomes a mainstay
Officer
after a
Brown.
minute.
Yeah, he plays a cop. Because it's so like Fred Willard is one of the most funniest people in
Rest in peace,
Yeah, he
Fred
died
Willard.
last year.
Yeah, he was great.
his last show. He plays the guy who dies. Like it's kind of sad.
Damn.
But they I think they kind of had to do it. But Fred Willard, I think everything he is in is hilarious.
He always adds something to it, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Just hearing that voice in the Arlen town, I don't know, kind of threw me off at first. And it's also becomes that thing that I mentioned earlier, where Arlen, Texas, kind of becomes, it doesn't have that small town thing anymore. Now there's like big city parties going on, and
Once you get people like once you hear like they made Kid Rock for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
We talked
Yeah.
about the last one. Kid Rock, I could see that in a small town because these people are from small towns, but then it gets way too elaborate after the last season. Because now it's Dusty Hill, Big Willie Lane,
fucking murder mystery train rides.
yeah. It's
and then and what's his head? The Fonz.
Henry Winkler.
Henry Winkler. Yeah.
It's a very odd dynamic after this season and during the season. I do like the fact they're getting better, like not better, but more voice actors.
Yeah.
But they're getting people like Fred Willard and Henry Winkler,
Yeah, actors.
but who you can spot from a mile away.
Or I meant screen actors.
Yeah, like Johnny Knoxville's in 2 episodes.
yeah, but he does his voice pretty well. He
Yeah.
almost kind of masks it a
He
bit.
does
Because
two
he has
characters.
He has that weird southern, like a southern accent, but it's from like East Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but it's Johnny Knox. 'Cause
Yeah.
we grew up hearing this guy being like, "This is called the Meat Tornado."
We heard this guy's
This
fucking
is
voice
Jackass.
every week on MTV for
Hey,
like
remember when
5
I
years
was on
straight.
MTV crushing my body for your entertainment, sponsored by Miller High Life. And
Essentially.
I'm living the high life on painkillers.
But yeah, they got a lot more celebrity cameos as the series progressed, just for like one-off things here and there.
And this is like, he's like a parasite in this fucking town.
He is.
Because he's taking it like Hank's like he can do no wrong until he starts doing wrong. Like he fucks with Con, he fucks with Dale, Bill, even Luann. He fucks with Luann.
You remember Hank's tipping point?
Oh yeah, it was. It wasn't getting punched in the face. It was something else.
Because the punch in the face was the very last thing they took the Polaroid of.
Yeah. It was the trash, wasn't it? No.
Close.
The cars? No.
Close. It had to do with trash and cars.
Yeah, he did. It was like a.
I don't remember either.
He fucked up something of Hank's personal.
Was it his yard?
Yeah, they left the tire marks in the yard, and that tears it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you fuck with Hank's yard. It's game over.
I love their plan because Fred Willard comes back and says, "Why don't you leave Big Willie alone? You piece of shit."
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And Big Willie punches him in the face, and like the whole time he's like, he takes a picture of it.
Yep.
They was able to get Dale to take a picture of it, and Big Willie can't go back. Big Willie's got 3 strikes. You know?
Yeah.
And Dale does it. The geek.
Yep.
But he goes over the fence, and then he has something added to his house.
Yep.
The fucking roll down fucking metal fence door.
Yep.
Yep.
That you see at convenience stores.
And I love it because it worked to his advantage. And then
Like you see like Big Willie, and like he's still scared. Like he's like,
yeah.
"Oh, God."
No, but that was a pretty fun one. And the next one was actually fun too. The Incredible Hank,
I love this episode.
where Hank gets testosterone supplements.
Hank, you have PMS. No, I don't.
I know. Just immediately, just like, no. How dare you?
Yeah, and this is a Peggy's fault episode.
Yeah.
It is.
It is like all he had to do. He has low T. He has low testosterone because he gets old.
He's
When
older.
you get older,
That's what
a lot of
happens.
guys this happens. But instead of doing the recommended dose, she gives him a steak filled with testosterone pills.
Yep.
Coffee filled with testosterone pills. And what happens to Hank? He becomes a yoked motherfucker again.
Yeah.
He becomes young Hank. And young Hank fucks a lot. Like twice a day, every day.
After a minute, Hank's like, you did what to me?
Yeah. But like even Nancy's like, God, Damn. And it's just like, you're gonna fuck Hank too, you fucking bitch.
Yeah.
But like he's doing hurdles because remember what it was for? Why?
The bull race.
The bull run. Yeah. Because the whole, like, if we're getting an episode, she's like, "Come on, Hank, we need help for Cinco de Mayo." He's like, "There's no R."
You're a substitute Spanish teacher.
You should know this. He's like this close to getting to say dumb bitch. Remember how I bailed you out of Mexico?
Yeah.
But like he gets really invigorated and he's like, well, we can't do the bull. Like they go to that meeting.
Yeah.
And he's in like peak form then, he's building muscle. And that testosterone does that. But he's building muscle fast. He's getting acne because he's got a hormone disorder now.
Yeah.
I love his biggest hurdle though. Fucking Arlen native's son Joseph is his biggest hurdle because it's like because they meet in the alley. Sup. And Hank does. Because he's growing a mustache. He's getting hairy.
I know. They keep just like sparring at each other, just looking at each other in the distance. Hank, Joseph.
But like Hank gets like so much fucking energy. And oh my God.
And the entire time, Bobby's just trying to work up the courage to walk in the men's locker room.
He's like, because what he does one of those fucked up things. He's like, hey, Bobby's there at the neighbor's house. She's like, in the middle of the afternoon, he's like, fuck yeah. We're going to do this every day, bitch. I am all powerful. Hank Hill.
But then he comes to terms with the fact that he cheated.
Yeah, well, like he finds out like he's struggling.
Yeah.
Because he starts doing, remember the whole time he was doing hurdles over his lawnmower. Well, now he can't jump as high. Like it's taking its toll. And then Peggy's like, talks to the doctor, and he's like, "What the fuck did you do?"
Yeah,
right.
And she's like, "He's like,
doctor
oh my,
has no problem
he's like, oh
calling
my
her
God, he's
dumbass.
gonna have a fucking heart attack." Yeah, you basically just killed your husband.
Yeah.
But he's gonna he hits rock bottom quicker now. I remember he's yelling at the school board or at the board of or the town or whatever because they couldn't get insurance for the bull run.
Yeah.
He's like, that's bullshit. I'll get everybody to sign up. He's like, I'll do it myself. I'll run by myself because I'm a man. And it's like Jack Hank is scary Hank because remember he scares Bill
Yeah.
because he starts
That's
throwing
the bulldozer.
he starts throwing punches at Dale. Is it Bill or Dale?
When Hank says he's going to do something, he's going to do it.
But he's like throwing mock punches at him.
Yeah.
And it's like scaring the shit out of them because Hank could kick their ass.
Like,
I think now was the best time for Hank to go kick John Redcorn's ass.
Oh, dude.
this is for Dale. After that, we had Flirting with the Master. And that's the one where Peggy winds up having to go to Antonio Montoya's house.
It was the
soap opera.
Yeah, what did they call it?
Monsieur Martinez.
The telenovela.
Yeah.
Yes.
Senor Martinez christened these babies and gave them a brand new convertible, and he threw it off a cliff for them babies. It's like, what? Like,
But isn't it the whole time Peggy thinking that like he's trying
coming on to
right?
her?
yeah, lines are all over. Because remember, episode before this, she's getting fucked all the time.
Yeah.
Peggy's just
Where
like,
her head's at now.
and Peggy's just like, my good looks are just getting me into trouble again. Meanwhile, at the end of the episode, you find out he's got a family.
Yeah. I'm kind of like, the more you think about it, if Hank was a real guy, I'd be like, hell yeah, man. Because he doesn't have to wear a condom. Yeah. Like, fuck it, you raw dog any bitch you wanted to. Who's going to say anything, huh?
Thanks, narrow urethra.
Yeah, thanks, never. You mean man-made condom?
But yeah, this was a pretty fun episode. Not really too much to really call home about other than it's just another one of the Peggy not understanding Spanish and then...
And her vanity just
Yes.
fucking getting in the way again.
Yeah, just Peggy and her vanity. That's really what that one comes down to.
There's a lot of those in the later seasons, too.
Yeah. And then after that is after the mold rush.
Oh, yeah.
In which Hank's house sustains minor water damage, in which he has to before the Arlen Parade of Homes, and then winds up having to stay in the hotel room while everyone has to fix his house, and he is just getting more annoyed by the second.
Because if, God forbid, anybody other than Hank works on his house.
Yes. And also because the mold they tested for, like every house that's like that old was going to test
Well,
for...
they had a scam going.
Yeah.
That was the whole point. They had a scam going, and I think what's his name is in this episode? That dude that was in like a bunch of movies in the early 2000s.
It actually doesn't list it if so.
Fuck, what is his name?
But
Chris Elliott. Remember Chris Elliott?
oh,
He's kind of like Andy Dick.
He's kind of like the stoner friend in all the scary movies or whatever.
Because I remember him because he used to be like he was in Something About Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in that. It was a scam that we're running.
Okay.
Yeah, you pay an extra, under the door. I'll get you right.
Yeah.
And I love how they fuck him.
Yes.
Because all Hank does is go down to the city planning office and get certified.
Yep.
Into collecting mold samples. And who does he bring?
Bill.
The Bill Dozer.
Yep.
With Bill Dozer fungus.
On the toesies.
And like, can you imagine how batshit insane that would be? Two guys that you're scamming come to your house. And what the fuck are you going to do?
Yeah.
Because at any time, both those guys will fuck you up.
Yeah.
Like, he's still the bulldozer on some shit. Remember, he went against like 5 high school kids to score a touchdown.
He'll still tackle you.
Yeah, he's tough. He will push you down on the ground. He'll scream. Yeah, but like I can see Bill like killing someone. Did I do good, Hank? Yes, pig.
That'll do, Bill.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
And also, like, how dirty do your feet have to be for you to actually have like fungus mold growing on it?
oh, it's all bullshit.
Like with Bill, it's always the worst case scenario.
Because remember, he has to take pills.
Yeah.
That's why he was fucking Luann's mom. Then he ran out of money.
Well, no, I'd also think about that, and I'd also remember as a kid seeing those fucking like foot fungus commercials with like that fucking green ass guy that like crawled up underneath like toenails.
I know what you're talking about. That shit was gross.
Yeah, and that's why I'm sitting here going, I'm just like, and
remember-
like looking at my feet, going, how dirty are people's feet
I
getting
know
to where
it.
you're getting foot funguses? Fuck.
Got to take care of your feet.
I don't know. Let's ask the crusties down in Plaza. They might know.
They know all the ointments.
No, they don't. That's the point. All right. But then after that, we had Living on Reds, Vitamin C, and Propane.
This has a bunch of country stars in it.
Yes. Trace Atkins, Dina Carter, Brad Paisley, George Strait, and Travis Tritt.
Fuck yeah. I don't know about Kiss Army, brother, but I was part of the Travis Tritt shit kickers for 40 years. I'm then the Clowny Daggers.
I love this one because it's one of the times that Hank finally wraps Bobby in for something to try to like connect with him.
And it's also like, it's got that kind of like that Red Sovine. Remember those songs? They're like trucker songs.
Yeah.
Like-
Just 18 wheels and a dozen roses and all
Teddy
that.
Bear and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That's the only song Hank Hill sings.
Yep.
It's Teddy Bear.
And the thing is like he's having to like take this piece of furniture up, like a couple pieces of
not even a lot
furniture
of
up to his
furniture.
mama's house.
It's almost a truckload, barely a truckload.
Yeah, barely a U-Haul.
No, yeah, I'm talking about like a pickup.
Yeah.
Like he can put all that in the back of a pickup.
Yeah,
Like,
in his pickup.
Yeah.
But he literally in the episode he wanted an excuse to rent an 18-wheeler.
and that's the
And
thing
go-
about Hank, man. He has a CDL, a Class A CDL.
Yeah.
Dude, that's an expensive fucking license to maintain. Mm-hmm. Like that goes back. We were talking about. I think it was not last episode, the one before that. How much money does Hank make?
Yeah.
And it's just like enough to have like 30 fucking certifications.
Yeah, really.
To date.
Yeah.
All right, because some of that stuff he builds is like, man, you need special tools that you need certifications for.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Mike Judge's idea of like the perfect Southern dad.
But
Yeah.
not just that, like an every
every man.
Well, like what is it called? He's not a professional. He's a master of none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Renaissance man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A handyman.
Yeah.
And then, so the boys wind up hearing about
Peggy
this.
needs a handy man.
And so the boys hear about it, wind up stowing away in the back of the 18-wheeler. And something else I really like about this episode is, before I get to that point, Luann is trying to write a song, a Christmas song.
Yeah.
And decides to like use Hank and Bobby's trip as like inspiration for the Christmas song. Well, the boys decide to like hop in the back and like drive
I
off.
didn't tell nobody.
And they didn't tell anyone. And most of the time in those episodes, that never gets addressed. Ever.
This time I got addressed. With
It
Nancy.
got addressed. And my favorite one is like Luann is trying to sing this fucking song because that's the cutaway. Like every time they go away from Hank and the boys, they cut back to like this drawing of Hank and Bobby in a truck.
Hank and Bobby and Santa drive the truck up the mountain.
And it's Luann singing.
What do you think, Miss Hicks? He's like, honey, that's very cute and all, but I gotta talk. I gotta finish talking to the cops.
Yeah, she's like,
my husband's missing.
My husband's been missing for 2 days.
And remember, for her, that's probably is terrified because Dale is a
psychopath,
bounty hunter.
Oh yeah,
so he might have got killed by one of his bounties. Some dude jipping parking tickets. He probably got murdered.
But yeah, it's like first she's trying to do it with Peggy, and Peggy's just like, yeah. But just how she clips it, like the first time you see Nancy, she's just like mascara running in her robe, her hair's all messed up. Shook, that's great, but I gotta finish. My husband's been missing for 2 days.
I got enough problems right now. Shook.
And I thought it was it was also a pretty good payoff when earlier in the episode the truckers were being kind of shitty to Hank. And then by the end when they had
he pulls a fucking maneuver because he goes up he
goes back down.
Yeah.
Backwards. But what he went up though is a runaway hill.
Yeah.
The only thing was it went around the mountain. We see them all the time going to West Virginia, runaway hills. They're fucking terrified. I don't know if you've ever seen one being used. I have.
Oh, I hadn't seen them being used. I've seen
that's scary.
I've seen an 18-wheeler up on one, like fully stopped.
No,
but
I was,
not
about,
like the
I was about a
process
mile
of one.
behind one, and it was a straightaway going down. It was like a 7% grade.
Oof.
Fuck. It's loud. The fucking truck looks like it's bouncing, going up a hill. Like, boom, boom.
And that's basically
boom.
just the brakes failed, and you gotta have some.
Well, those runaways, if you look, you can see the contour of mounds.
Yeah.
So it's natural speed bump. So what it's doing is it's hitting that bump at a high speed and keeps hitting it. So the front end of the truck is bouncing up, which is kind of scary.
Yeah, I get that. I was asking, those are for so if the brakes fail and they can go up on those, right? Okay.
It's loud as fuck hearing the axle bounce off the fucking ground. Like
Dude, I
boom,
bet.
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, that just sounds terrifying.
And it's like this. It's like it's like that freaking vertical.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like that. And in the end, they hear them taking the traversing it back down, and then they accept them. At the diner
It's
and
like
everything.
you're cool. You're a legit trucker and all that.
How did they know? You remember?
They just heard him over in the CB talking. It was Boomhauer. Yeah.
Hey, I know that voice. You guys made it down that mountain. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is like knowing like a few actual truckers in my life, like growing up, like Jeff Young, actually, he was a trucker by trade. Knowing like their kind of mentalities and the way they act and everything, that was actually pretty representative, and that's why I was like really happy like at the end how they kind of did that, because again the community is really like welcoming and open like that. So it was a nice little representation, I thought.
Nice.
Then after that we got Rich Hank, Poor Hank.
Speaking of the discussion of how rich or poor Hank is.
Yeah, because this is the one where Bobby overhears Hank telling Peggy about his Christmas bonus that wound up being like a couple grand.
Yeah.
But Bobby thought that was like his weekly paycheck.
Yeah.
Well, he got his sales commission bonus.
Yeah.
And that's when this is where I kind of think Hank kind of fails a little bit because he doesn't explain to Bobby very, very quickly enough. Like Bobby finds all this stupid shit laying around, like oil records, and no, that's the record you're supposed to keep of when you have oil changes done to your car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like, you're up to
Not
date.
he's an oil miser.
Yeah, he's like, oh man, he's got all these oil companies. Like, oh god damn it.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's thinking that we're super rich, and that the neighborhood.
He does that one thing that parents really shouldn't do. I think is he's really guarded about the money. He's like, no, you need to teach your kids about this because money management is not taught.
No.
So you need to teach them about money management. Like I am a miser when it comes to my spending. But when I do spend money, I spend a lot in one day.
Yeah.
Like I will spend $400 in one day.
Yeah.
But it will take me 6 months to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's good, because remember he sneaks up on him with the checkbook.
Yes.
And it's like, motherfucker, you need to back the fuck up. I will give you a number, but it'll be a rounded down number, like a piece of shit. But he spends all their money because Hank doesn't.
Grabs the credit card.
Well, yeah, because Hank never uses that credit card. And so that's just in case something happens to Hank or Peggy. She's a substitute teacher. She don't make no money.
That's the other thing. It's like Hank's definitely doing the lion's share of the earnings, but it's all commission based in Strickland Propane, isn't it?
I bet he's on salary too.
Well, he's probably got a salary, a commission, and then he does a lot of other stuff. Like he drives the trucks too sometimes. And plus, like I said last time, he's a craftsman.
Yeah.
Like some of the stuff, everything he touches is worth high end. That doghouse. What happened to that doghouse? You remember?
Yeah,
That's a nice
it's like a
house.
hotel.
That's $1,000 fucking piece of art.
Bobby lived
I bet
in
Bill
it,
bought it.
and he lives in it now.
I bet Bill gets in that motherfucker. I bet it's in Bill's house. I bet he gets in it, and he pretends to be a giant. There's 2 coffins missing. Two fucking coffins. He taught kids shop. And I bet those kids begged their parents to learn more shop, and so they probably threw Hank some money to do an after school program. Like, all he spends his money on beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do they spend their money on beer? One guy buys a case.
Then the next guy.
Then the next guy. And they probably drink a 6-pack a night. If they drink every night. You're assuming they do, but I imagine they don't. They probably drink 4 times a week.
Yeah, that's true.
So each one's basically buying a case a week, which is
it's like maybe $25.
Yeah, but for a guy like who drinks all the time, that's the cheap end motherfucker.
Oh yeah.
Dale's the one spending more money than anybody because he buys cigarettes.
Yeah.
He has the Manitoba jacket.
Smokes.
I love the cigarette guy. He's like, he even has the jacket.
I know.
You have to smoke like 400,000 cartons.
Oh, Shug, not again.
Yeah, and again, that's basically all that really happens on that episode. Is just Bobby tries to make one last transaction. Hank puts a hold on the card, yanks his ass out of the mall,
And it's a jet ski.
And it was a jet ski, yeah.
But Hank's like, all right, we'll hang on to it for a little longer because he learned his lesson.
Yeah,
to an extent.
And plus, Hank was like, jet ski's kind of cool.
Yeah.
the motor head in him was just like, this is kind of cool. We could make this go fast.
And it's not there, so he probably sold it. Like,
right. He still probably fucking sold that thing.
He's had the same truck since before he got when he first got married. So, and then he has to buy one other one.
I was
bet
say,
he got a deal on it. Like,
I don't know. He pays sticker price.
Yeah. Motherfucker's probably got like a 750 fucking credit score. Probably pays nothing.
Right.
All right, Cap. I'm tossing this one to you. Episode 9. What's that title?
Shit. It's how do you say this? Sesinest pas una king of the hill.
Well, one more time.
Sesinest
Pas
pas un
King of the hill.
king of the hill.
or Koth.
There we go.
Koth if you're nasty.
That's when that's when Hank asked Peggy to design an art piece, and
Propane Man.
yes, and it winds up being Probot.
And why is it so special?
Because Peggy is an uneducated hillbilly.
Not just that, they think she's special. They think she's retarded.
Well, yeah, uneducated hillbilly.
Like who? Jimmy Pritchard.
Kristen Krish's art.
And who has she been? And she got scammed with Jimmy Pritchard.
Yep.
Peggy is as dumb as Jimmy Pritchard, and the son baked his brain.
I like when Hank, before he commissions Peggy for the piece, he's going around town to like the different art places trying to find a piece of art that represents Arlen.
Yeah.
You don't like none of that shit.
And my favorite one was where he goes in and he sees that picture of George Washington. He's like, oh, well, that works. And he asks the artist, he's like, well, how much for this? He goes, oh, our American heroes are the heroes of history or some sort of shit like that. He's like, and on this side is George Washington. And when you turn it, it's Hitler. And he's like, whoa, what? He's like, George Washington, Hitler. George Washington, Hitler.
Yeah. It's just all like our presidents are war criminal pieces.
Yeah, and he just like slowly just backs out. He's like, let's go.
I think they walk into one that was a very specific one, like it was like nude art or something like that.
Yes, and he just the Grandpa Simpson meme where he walks in, sees someone, immediately grabs the hat, and like turns tail, walks right back out. That's basically them.
It's like, nope.
Yeah, but this is very simple. I don't even remember the B plot to this story.
This one is meanwhile Dale starts wearing a suit of armor that he uses for newfound invincibility to insult people without consequence until Bill creates his own suit of armor and challenges him to a fight.
Yeah, they beat the fuck out of each other.
Yes.
That's like a Family Guy B plot.
Yeah, but like no, Bill's armor was like trash can material. Like, like
Right.
it wasn't a suit of armor. It was just like a trash can and in like a lid.
He is basically trash.
Oh, I'm Iron Man.
Your hate for the autistic Bill is rough.
I mean, he doesn't really redeem himself a lot.
He fucked Dan Richards.
That is also true.
Yeah, so
And
again,
Lyoma.
yeah,
And Richards fell in love, too.
not much more really happened in that one that I can really think of, other than she just makes the propane statue. They think she's special.
Well, they put it on the
bails her
highway.
out.
They put it on the highway.
Yeah, they put it on the highway.
And like people like stop and look at it and go, "What the fuck is that?" And you see that one go, click. It's like, oh shit.
Yep. And then the episode after that is That's What She Said, which actually won an Annie Award for writing.
This is the
I forget what the it's a Strickland Propane episode, and I guess they were
Luke
making
Perry,
jokes
right?
in the office.
Yes.
It's Luke
Yes,
Perry.
Well, Ben
that
Stiller.
character.
Ben
Ben
Stiller.
Stiller. Sorry. No, I hated this episode
Yeah, it's
because
when,
at no time does Hank just been like, "I'm going to kick the shit out of you."
Yeah.
yeah, it's the guy that's always playing ass grab and making every single thing
Everybody's
a dirty
uncomfortable.
joke. Yes.
Nobody can get out of their fucking chairs because they don't want to get their ass smacked.
And it's like, and again, someone that's like also very sexual in nature, and I like making dirty jokes and shit. There's moments for it, and there are the people that's just will turn every single thing into
Yeah.
a sex joke or a sex pun. And it's like, if you don't do that, the moments in which you do bring it up is actually funny.
It's like the Todd in Scrubs.
Yeah.
Yes, oh my god.
Up top.
Yeah, but like, and that guy was coming into a situation where everybody knew each other already.
Yes.
Hank knows Joe Jack. He knows what's his name? Gustavo?
Enrique.
Enrique.
And
What's the girl's name?
Donna.
But he knows these people on a personal because it's a family.
Yeah. Strickland is a family.
And it's a conservative thing. Their raunchy person is Buck Strickland himself. Mm-hmm. But his raunchiness ruins people's paychecks.
Yeah.
He can get away with it.
And the funny B plot on this one was Dale trades in smoking for chewing tobacco.
This is when Boomhauer fixes him.
Yes, at the very end, because he's just like
he's like, I can't do it no more.
well, because he's been spitting, and he's like, Nancy keeps fussing at me for spitting on the carpet. So he's like got the tobacco wrapped up in a newspaper, just like. I figure maybe instead of chewing it, I can just inhale it. And then fucking Boomhauer fucking whips out that later.
Little side story. I about watched a guy get stabbed to death for spitting on a carpet.
No shit.
No shit.
Well,
I would argue that you probably deserved
Remember
it.
Ashley?
yeah.
He doesn't listen to this. So I'll tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were all hanging out, and his brother-in-law came over and being a drunk asshole and spit on the carpet, and they got in a fight and fucking.
Damn. Damn.
Yikes.
And then
So,
then
word
I-
to the wise, don't spit on the fucking carpet.
Then I moved in a few years later. Then he came at me with a hammer, and I was about to throw him off a balcony.
Spitting is like the nastiest habit. If y'all ever live with somebody that spits,
Yeah, that dips.
it's disgusting.
Yeah, no, I couldn't do
Dude, that was big in school, man.
Yeah.
Fucking nasty ass Powerade Mountain Dew bottles filled with fucking spittle.
They'll get in the car with you on a summer day, and then they'll forget the fucking Coke bottle in the car as it's just out there in the sun. Yeah.
Fuck that.
Nothing like a nice hot August day and a nice Mountain Dew filled with paper towels and chew.
Yeah.
And God forbid you accidentally open that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't have a spit bottle. Use that one that's been in there for like 15 weeks.
But yeah, exactly what you're saying though. Boomhauer goes in and saves him in the
lights
middle of
the
just
fucking-
huffing that fucking.
He likes wet tobacco, which is actually dangerous.
Yeah. But then all of a sudden it's just.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow, Boomhauer! What do you call this amazing invention?
I call it a fucking cigar.
Yeah, but yeah, and eventually I find it funny that basically the one way Hank was able to fix the Strickland situation, or fix the Rich situation rather, was just going, you know what? Then fine, I fucking quit.
Yeah.
And then Buck was like, wait a minute now. I didn't find all that potty humor funny at all. And Rich is like, oh, come on. He's like, oh, now you shut up or I'm going to put your face in that fucking toilet.
Because Buck Strickland needs Hank.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he needs him because Hank pulls his ass out of trouble all the goddamn time.
That's why he's
Yep.
old top.
He's old top.
Gets him out of jams.
He's always on top of things.
And after that, we've got My Hair Lady, in which Luann and Bill both get jobs at the hippiest hair salon in Arlen called Hotties.
This is one of those episodes that didn't age well.
No, because in
Bill
order to keep
pretends
his
to be
job,
gay.
Bill has to be gay.
Pretends to be gay.
Yeah. Yeah, that...
It'd be funny if he actually did become gay.
That'd be
That would happen
hilarious.
to Bill.
But no, and especially in contrast to in a few seasons the Hooters episode, which did age well. Like that was still pretty cool to
With Dale.
yeah. Like, but no, this one. I think it may be the only time they tried to tackle something and it wound up just not doing that
It
good.
didn't hit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I barely
back
remember.
then, it probably did. You know, back
I remember laughing at it back then, but I didn't laugh at it because
It was what,
Bill had to be gay. It was more or less seeing Bill acting so out of character
What was it?
what was
04?
funny.
Was that 04?
Close to it.
Yeah, February 2004. So that might have been the era of
Yeah, so that's-
Queer Eye for the Straight Guy getting on TV and all that too. And that
Second Bush decade.
was because South Park did an episode on that too.
Yeah, the metrosexuals.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we might as well. There's not really much to call home on that one. It's funny to see Bill being all that, but eventually he gets found out and has
Well,
to
there's also
quit.
about like Luann. You know, she quits college to go back to hairstyling again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like a big 1 step forward, 5 steps back kind of situation. I didn't like that for Luann.
It's almost like she had to have a reset in order to do more with her character again, which
Yeah.
is odd. But yeah, after that was Fish and the Wildlife, in which Hank
Hippies.
takes Bobby to go fishing and runs into a bunch of hippies, and Bobby gets wrapped into the hippies in the wrong way.
Fish with a PH.
Yeah, I think Fred Willard's in this one too. I think he plays the park ranger.
I think he does. Yeah, I think that he becomes like that reoccurring park ranger police officer.
Just basically Fred Willard.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny because Bobby does the one thing: he takes the gumbo.
You don't take food from hippies.
You don't take food from hippies because then everything you
They
have.
believe.
First off, it's laced
You
with
owe them.
LSD.
Yeah, they believe you owe them.
everything.
Yeah, like people were fucking in Hank's tent. They were using the fishing poles, blah blah, all this, and the whole time, Bobby's trying to learn a lesson, and Hank's just there, like sitting there at the camp, being responsible the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Like he's maintaining the fire. He's gathered food.
Yep.
Because Hank would survive the end of days.
Oh yeah.
He would build coffins for people.
Be him and whatever super villain is left.
He'd find a way to build his propane powered house.
His propane-powered murder vehicle
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
with Dale on the hood.
Khan walks up just broke, and is going like, Hank doesn't call him stupid redneck, calls him Hank.
Yeah.
Says, "Can you please let me in?" And Hank just says, "No."
No, it's all right, Con. I'll strap you ass outward on my nitro truck.
And now, correct me if I'm wrong. The way this episode just kind of ends is the festival was over. Like they all just kind of had to go home. Like their time was up.
But like, remember Bill hangs out with him. He integrates himself. He's like, I am Mudfeather.
Yeah, just all covered in mud and shit
Yeah.
like that.
But yeah,
You do not have the feather, Hank. It's like, Bill.
I think that's the way it wrapped up, though.
even
It's just,
Boomhauer
they
and
wake
Dale.
up.
Boomhauer and Dale are like, get the fuck out of here with this bullshit.
It's another a recurring thing with Bill where everybody has to yell at him to get him out of his little groups, whether it's a dance group or the
he gets
hippies.
addicted to groups.
Yeah.
Once he finds a place, he gets to it.
Yep. Then after that, we had Cheer Factor, in which Peggy volunteers to be the school
Racist
cheerleading squad.
Cheerleading coach.
Yeah, the Fighting Irish.
Oh man, I'm trying to remember who did the voice of the cheerleading coach.
It says it here, but I will let you guess before I say.
Fuck. It's not Amy Smart.
Starts with a P. Peri Gilpin? Gilpin?
No clue who that is.
I was thinking of a more famous actress.
Okay. No. Guest star as Joe Rita.
Yeah. Yeah, she had that real like designing women accent. It was so good.
I
But,
can hear you.
But like that's what I thought it was. I thought it was one of them. But nah, man, she's like, this is cheer. And the whole thing, Peggy's like, this isn't cheerleading. Cheerleading is supposed to uplift the football team and
Come on now, fight.
I don't know if you've seen it before, but cheerleading is a fucking sport.
Oh, yeah.
My cousins are in that shit.
Like as far as pure athletics, it ain't no joke by any means.
And instead of we used to joke in high school. It's like difference between a gymnast and a fucking cheerleader. Cheerleader has tits. And, they do some weird shit. It's also fucking dangerous as fuck.
Yeah, the choreography behind it is.
Yeah, because there's no guy catching. Like, it's a guy your age catching you. It's not some Bella Caroli motherfucker like built like a brick shit house catching tiny girls out of the air.
Right.
Just in case, flip forward and like snap your goddamn neck. Mm-hmm. But no, it was all because of Connie, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She was on it. And it was like a pride thing for Peggy that
it's always a pride thing with Peggy.
It went to hell quickly. He's like, everyone pulled out a knife and stabbed the cougar. And it's like, oh shit, stab the Belton cougar. The McMainer cougar.
And meanwhile, Bobby's in the role of his lifetime as the mascot.
Oh yeah, he's just eating it up.
He was a leprechaun in that one. And he's like, give me your fucking go. he's like a shifty Irish motherfucker.
I know, he's like comes out like drunk.
Yeah, and like there's that woman, she brings in people from like the Irish delegation to see this, and he's like, what the fuck is it? And they all pull out their shillelaghs and beat the fuck out of them. We're gonna beat the Irish. It's like, whoa.
They're gonna do what now?
We're gonna beat the fuck out of the Irish.
I mean, they say that about Notre Dame though all the time.
No, what was the wrap up for that one?
I don't even
feel
remember.
like they had to do like almost some sort of reversal.
Yeah, like what's your name? Gets it back. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of it, there's a game and the football team's losing because no one has any prize.
And then Connie starts up. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah,
and does like the classic cheer, the first cheer that Peggy taught them. That's what it was. Yeah,
fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that kind of stuff is what saves the episode. Yeah. That kind of wrap up, like have Connie taking it and kind of taking it on. That made it better.
Yeah.
And after that, we had Dale B. Not Proud. With the NHRA driver, John Force needs an organ transplant.
Oh, okay. So he needs a kidney transplant.
Yes.
And I know about this firsthand. It is so fucking hilarious to see this shit in media. Uh-huh. Because they fuck it up so bad.
Do tell.
All right. When your kidneys fail, you are put on dialysis.
Right.
For some reason, John Force isn't on dialysis. I've met John Force.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He's just a NASCAR driver. He's an old NASCAR driver. That's all he is. I met him down here at the Speedway. Not Concord, the other one. The drag strip.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he was signing autographs and shit.
Right.
He plays his own voice.
Yeah.
But this does have a kind of a funny thing for me. Dale thinks his paranoia hits an all-time high.
Yes.
He's like, I'm in the system. And one of the funniest animated moments in the show for me is when they bring Dale down on the bed and the doctor's like, Dale, huh? And then he's like, they stab him with the needle and go, huh? There he's out. Mr. Gribble, huh? And like he's a fucking animal.
Yeah. But then that what happens, Dale gets into for a kidney transplant, they give him his or he gives them his license, and that's how he freaks out.
No, he blames Hank. Hank is his what do you call it?
Emergency contact.
His emergency contact.
Okay.
And he makes decisions. He trusts Hank to make decisions on his behalf.
Right.
Well, John Force needed a kidney. Well, instead of John Force getting the kidney, it was a little boy.
Yep.
And Dale is taking it hard because he thought he didn't want John Force to have his kidney at all. He wanted to have his kidney.
Yeah.
But he gets petty with the kid.
Yeah, he's like, "Give me your fucking Game Boy."
He's like, he takes that fucking like statue made of suckers.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm taking this.
Yeah.
He's like, okay.
He's like, and the Game Boy. And just snatches the Game Boy out of his pocket.
He gives the kid fucking bad advice. Like,
yeah.
He's like, well, my kidney likes a little bit of Mountain Dew every day. It's like, no, that'll cause your kidney to fail. Do not drink Mountain Dew.
Should probably quit smoking cigarettes too.
Yellow dye number 6 and 490 grams of sugar are going to give you diabetes.
Yeah, and
that was a fun one.
I thought this was
Mr.
one.
Gribble.
I thought this was one of the better ones of the season.
Yes.
This one was definitely a standout
You
for
hear what
me.
Dale does
favorite
to Hank
one.
after this?
tells Hank he's no longer on the list.
Who's his emergency contact now?
Boomhauer? Bill. Who?
Peggy.
Oh.
He's like, I trust you, Peggy. You stupid motherfucker.
Yeah, I forgot that was how it ended.
And this one we've got Apres Hank Deluge. Is that right?
What's with all the French titles?
Yeah, I know, right? But this is the one where this is one of my least favorite episodes of the season. It's when the flood hits Arlen and
Bill has power.
And Bill turns into a fucking tyrant.
But
this one gets
that
silly.
modicum of power. But let's go back to like thing I was saying about the wrestler, and he gets that little bit of power, and it makes him like, oh yeah, I was the leader of the group at one time.
Yeah.
You know, I was the fucking shit, the bee's knees, as the kids say.
The beast.
Say, I just need this, Hank. Let me be a leader. Meanwhile, it's just going
Hank
horribly
had to make
wrong.
the tough decision.
Hank had to make the real decision.
Yeah.
Flood a little neighborhood, or let Arlen flood. Mm-hmm. And Bill fucking, it devolves into like the Stanford prison experiment.
Yeah, I know.
I love Khan though. When they first get to the gym, he's like, we take stage, we overlook. And he's like, go, Connie, go get toilet paper. And he's like, you're gonna hoard toilet paper.
Flash forward to today.
Yeah.
Fuck.
God.
I mean, when the end of days comes, you want the fluffy stuff.
And it becomes like a movie scene, ridiculous kind of element to it too.
Yeah, it's like they all evolve to like peasants.
Yeah.
And this is one of my least favorite episodes because it feels like everyone was written so poorly. Because it's like even Peggy, like she's bad in most episodes, but like even in this one, she was like overboard. Like
Bobby,
on the...
this is the one where Bobby has like a freak out, right?
No, Bobby is cool-headed the entire
Who's
fucking
having
time.
a fucking...
Peggy.
Yeah, that's right.
Peggy's having the fucking freak out.
Yeah, she's like devolving into a child.
Yes, and like
With the
and Bill's
stuffed
having to like
animals
giving her
and-
the stuffed animal shit, and because she's worried that it's going to happen to Bobby because she sees Bobby and Joseph like playing tag or some shit, and it's like, oh no, they're going to devolve back to their younger states, and then like, Bobby, quit playing ball, go break into the locker room and drink some coffee like an adult, or would you already, shit like that, and then she's the one acting like a fucking kid.
I like when Hank comes and he shows up and they're like, this man flooded the town. And that one guy's like, boo, and he's like, hey,
Aren't
you're
you
the asshole who left this post.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
And he floods. Doesn't he?
South Arlen.
Flood South Arlen. Yeah, he
because
left
it
the
has to
guy
be.
behind the controls for the dam
Dip.
for the town dips. Exactly.
It's either flood half of Arlen or let all of Arlen flood.
Yep.
Yeah, and
And he.
It turns out he didn't have to do
Bill
it.
was gaslighting the entire fucking gym.
Yeah.
Because Hank's like, has anyone been outside? It's been a sunny day that whole time.
Yep. He's like, it's been a little muggy. He's like, oh, Bill.
Yeah. That's what it winds up being too. Oh, Bill.
Yeah, and I don't like it because motherfucker arrests Hank. He puts him in fucking jail that he made at the fucking gym.
That's where they keep the fucking gym supplies.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, just that episode in full. And hell, even Luann has a weird comment at the very beginning, like when the lightning struck, and she's like, it's like God took a photo of us before he killed us. It's just
She always
like,
says shit like it.
Yeah.
but usually not that, like,
Well, you remember the
morose?
snake? Remember the snake?
Yeah.
And it came toward her. What'd she say?
He thinks I'm a virgin.
No, he's like, oh my God, he knows I'm a Christian.
Oh, knows I'm a Christian. Yeah.
She's a psycho.
Yeah, but never with this, like, she almost had like that monotone, like, we're all gonna die.
Yeah, well, she does that a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't really care for that episode as much. But this one, on the flip, I thought was cool. Dale Tech, and in which he winds up becoming he starts up Dale Tech, which is a security company, but Cotton winds up hiring him to try to figure out who's been drinking Hank's orange juice or grapefruit juice or some shit.
Yeah, it's a stupid fucking.
I was going to say, I don't remember a whole lot from this one.
I like it.
It's a hardcore Cotton and Dale episode.
Yeah, I will say the ending of it was pretty dumb, but like everything leading up to it was funny because Hank feels like someone's been fucking around in his house. Dale believes someone is breaking in to fuck around, and Hank's just like, no weird shit's happening. Cotton's like, no, someone's breaking in my boy's house and drinking his orange juice and doing all this thing, and we're gonna find out who it is. Come to find out, Con and Min are breaking into their house at night and like dressing up as Hank and Peggy and like drinking their orange juice and shit.
Because they're weird as fuck.
Yeah, so it's like the ending was really fucking weird, but I thought the lead-in was pretty funny because Cotton and Dale are like interrogating the neighborhood. Like they've got Bill sitting down there like, all right, what do you want with my boy's orange juice? You know, shit like that.
Meanwhile, Dale Tech's just been ready to go for years.
Oh, totally. Yeah, so I thought that one was pretty funny, but yeah, you said you thought it was just a pretty stupid one overall, Chris.
It's an okay episode. Like anytime Cotton shows up, it's a good episode.
Yeah,
It's a hit or miss. You know what I'm saying? Like
with the last few seasons, it is pretty hit or miss with the Cotton episodes.
yeah, especially with the next episode.
So they kind of devolve him more and more as the
how I learned to
series
stop
goes.
worrying and love the Alamo is the next one.
This is where he finds out like they're re-educating Texas students about the Alamo
Yeah,
by not telling them at all.
This one also felt a little of the times because it felt like I remember there being a lot of
Well,
the
you remember
whole...
2004? What 2004 was?
It's a presidential election.
It was the rollback for No Child Left Behind.
Yep. I remember
That's
that.
when that shit went into full effect across the country. So now teachers' jobs are on the lines for how many people pass school.
Yeah, so they're making
For
everything
the full fact
super
that
easy.
dumbass over here can't learn math. You know, our school can't get money because this dumb fuck's been licking lead cars all his fucking life.
Yeah, so and it was a weird episode to watch today.
Yeah.
Especially because they even had like some of the odd visual comparisons that were meant to be like a, you know, oh, I see thing. Like having the old history book next to the new history book, and the new history book is like a quarter smaller. Yeah. And like, you know, even in diameter, you know, it's a little smaller and shit like that. So I get what they're trying to kind of show off, but at the same time, like I said, it's just...
Y'all took history in high school, right?
Yeah, we took Tennessee history on top of that too, and I'm sure like in a lot of Texas schools, it's pretty close to home
we had
with the
North
Alamo
Carolina
history.
which wasn't a lot, but...
And you remember U.S. history then?
Yeah,
You remember how far it went?
for U.S. history, I mean,
Where the book ended?
where it ended. I don't think we really covered the 60s. Maybe no. You know what? We did cover Vietnam.
Like,
But
did you ever like glance at the back, see where it led up to? Like how far it went?
I think the farthest that they ever went were Vietnam.
So they about the 70s.
Yeah, about the 70s.
Yeah, I
Not
was
really.
gonna say, I remember my book kind of briefly touching on 70s and a little bit of 80s with technology.
Yeah,
like
they don't-
computers and stuff.
Reagan's just kind of there.
Ours made it all the way to the Gulf War. And I would tell you so, Cooper, that last go around I was up there, I was joking with him because he had to do thing about history.
Yeah.
I grabbed his history book. That shit's got George Floyd in that motherfucker.
Wow.
No shit.
I mean, we are living through,
History.
But that's brand fucking new history.
Yeah.
I was like, God damn.
It's already in the books, man.
that's just the pace of communication with,
I guess.
Yeah, and then the secondary storyline in
Not
that
a word
one...
about the reptilians. I'm just saying.
And then the secondary storyline in that one was when Nancy gets Flat Stanley and she and Peggy go running off doing like the worst things to Flat Stanley.
So fucking stupid. It's like that robot they made across the country.
Yeah.
And everybody like pissed on it.
Yep.
And beat the fuck out of it as soon as it got to Boston.
Yes. What was that?
I remember that shit,
It was
man.
the thing about like, oh, humanity's still good. No, the fuck it's not. No, it's not.
Like, fuck this
It's
fucking
filled with
robot.
murderers and pissers.
Murderers and pistols.
I'm pretty
I
sure
tell
someone
you what.
fucked it too.
Well, if there was a hole, it probably got fucked.
They made the hole.
Meanwhile, it gets across Canada just fine.
Next up was "Girl, You'll Be a Giant Soon," in which
This is I like this episode.
Hank, Luann tries to help Hank protest a grilling contest when it's revealed they don't allow propane grills, while Luann sees that as we're just gonna get a rally together, and all of a sudden all the fucking simp fucking guys that just want to bang her are just like, yeah, death to meat. And they get the wrong fucking idea and protest a barbecue, and Hank's like, what the fuck?
This is
Him
the
and Luann built a new barbecue.
Yeah.
Another another craftsman thing we never see again.
I know, right?
He sells it.
This is a third or fourth episode where Luann just gets a following just
Oh, she's a
of tantalized dudes.
She was a boxer, that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the one with big Tex, isn't it?
Yep. Big Tex.
Yep.
Because it's the state Texas Fairgrounds. Have you ever been to the state fair here?
I've
No.
been to the South Carolina State Fair. That one's a lot of fun.
Yeah. The North Carolina one's the shit. It's in Durham.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you ever heard of the Dixie Classic?
I haven't.
Yeah. They changed the name.
Well, yeah.
It's in Winston, man. That fair is the shit. Well, I went to both of those at school.
Yeah.
Like, constantly. Every time they had that thing, man. Such stupid shit. But damn, there was some scary stuff in there too. Like
I
I saw
bet.
a horse that was fucking terrifying. It was flat black, big as fuck, looked like it bench pressed 495. That's like P90X and motherfucker. And they had like the gimmicky stuff too, like the sideshows. It's
Yeah.
like, see the man eating chicken. And you're thinking, oh, it's gonna be a giant chicken. No, it's a dude eating KFC.
Right. Now, there was like Mid-South fairs in Memphis, Tennessee, and things like that we'd go to every now and then.
Yeah, man.
But they had like rodeos and shit like that.
Maybe not this year, but next year if they still have it, or if they have everything safe by this winter.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing to go to, man. It's
Oh, it
cheap
definitely
cheap
is.
as fuck, and it's in our state.
And the B plot on this one was when Peggy wants to go visit the house that had the murders in it, but
Yeah, it's
the
like a
real estate,
laundry room. She's trying to like sneak in the
Yeah.
fucking laundry room.
yeah, but the real estate lady just isn't letting them in unless they like put down a bid or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is when Peggy Is this where
This is where
Peggy
Peggy's
starts
like a
becoming
morose motherfucker.
Yeah.
Well, is this where she starts becoming a real estate agent?
Yeah, she starts getting interested in it at this point.
Yeah, but she
Which I didn't like that. I didn't like her changing her whole dynamic from
Yeah.
teaching to being a real estate agent.
like can't sell shit.
Needs actors.
Yeah.
And after that, we had Stressed for Success, in which Bobby joins the school's quiz bowl team.
Yeah, he's a pop culture genius.
And I thought this was an interesting one because it felt like this was the time in which they were really showing off a lot of current day pop culture, mainly for the topic they needed to do anyway. But it's like Kelly Clarkson like guessed as herself. She's
Yeah.
like, "Hi, I'm Kelly Clarkson."
I'm on the same network being a celebrity on the same show
Yeah.
or whatever.
Did Kelly Clarkson have a show on Fox at that time?
Or
Yeah, she
I
got
guess
a talk show.
this was I think this was American
not at that
Idol.
time, but
Yeah,
she has a talk show
2004.
now.
She was winning
Oh, yeah.
American Idol, and I guess they were both on Fox.
Yeah.
That might have been the whole thing.
Got it.
But yeah, she was just a tiny ass singing white lady.
Yeah.
I remember when Bobby stresses out. He finally freaks out. He's like listening to CDs. He's watching TV.
Do you remember the moment in which he has his
Oh man, he's having like a fever dream almost. It's fucking weird.
close?
He's having it's all running together.
Do you remember where he's at?
He's at the house, I believe. No, where was it?
He was at Megalomart.
That's right. He was looking at everything and he kept freaking out.
Because he got up to the wall of TVs and it was all the different things. And he was just looking around. All of a sudden, his eyes just roll to the back of his head. He just falls backward.
Overwhelmed by pop culture knowledge.
Did y'all
Yeah.
ever have in school do a trivia stuff?
Here and there. More like outside of school more than anything.
Our senior high school English teacher, people needed extra points. So what she'd do is she'd put a song on and like, hey, tell us who's singing.
Oh, yeah.
And like me and this one guy were just knocking him the fuck out. Because it's all stuff you hear like 99.7 The Fox.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would do that for spelling bees and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or spelling tests.
Yeah.
And this also had Ben Stein in it as the quizmaster.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Students.
That dude's actually an asshole in real life, apparently.
Really?
Yeah. Hardcore conservative.
I believe that.
said I wanted my water with lemon.
This steak is medium rare. Put it back.
And then this one has, it looks like it has two titles. First version of the title is Hank's Back. And then the second version is The Unbearable Lightness of Being Hank.
Yeah.
The one I have is Hank's back.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, but yeah, this is the one where Hank has to go see the yoga instructor.
It's a cool episode.
God forbid Hank's got to do yoga.
And then that was the B plot when Peggy goes back to the pink and white and starts rebagging.
Just kind of so she's selling houses and bagging
I think
groceries.
something
And
must have happened where she lost her teaching job and we just skipped over it.
yeah, they don't really go into that. as far as the school history, or she gets fired from the school or anything like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, can you really be fired as a sub? It just
I
feels like
guess.
they just quit calling you.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they fire you too. In a way.
Well, I mean, yeah,
like
if
you
you
get
do something
blackballed.
bad, yeah, you get fired.
I can picture if this was real life, Peggy's just watching a shit ton of HGTV and just wanting to become a real estate celebrity.
Flip this house. Mm-hmm. Hey, give me $6,000 for something.
Pretty much. That shit can be fun as hell to watch sometimes, though.
Yeah, I was trying to get a little bit more info on this one. I couldn't find it right off, but yeah, it doesn't really seem to.
I think Fred Willard's in this one too.
Oh, I remember what this one was. So this was the yoga worked so well for Hank's back
That he was showing off.
Yeah, that the insurance director thought that he was lying.
Inspector, yeah.
Right.
So he was, and I love the ending where he's just like, do you think I would have dealt with this ass hat longer than 5 minutes if it didn't work? And the guy's like back there, like putting his foot behind his head, going like, and the judge is like, all right, yeah, you got a point.
And like Hank didn't want to use it.
No.
Like if he didn't have to, because he's a very straightforward guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really what that one just came down to.
With
Is
your
Hank
downward...
doesn't want to do yoga. Oh, yoga worked. Uh-oh, it worked too well. Now he has to explain why it worked too well. The end.
Yeah, that's the only thing that kind of sticks around from the older series is Hank's, uncomfortable
Back.
experiences with, trying out new things.
But, fun fact, we're going to run out of fucking trivia, but oh well. Who voiced the yogi instructor?
Can't think of it all hands.
A-list actor.
Yeah. White or black?
White.
Well known, huh?
Very well known.
So acting today.
From here all the way to today, probably is not less lost star power.
Tommy Chong.
Jim Carrey.
No, but skinny white boy.
No, I don't know. No, just,
Johnny Depp.
Oh.
hell.
Yeah.
Now, if you
why I was just
if
like-
you were
Right
an
on.
actor, he got his ass kicked by his wife. But
Yeah, he did.
I was just saying, I was just like, yeah, I mean, I thought that was pretty fucking cool having, because it's like Johnny Depp was in this one, and then the very next one, one of Chris's favorites, Redneck on Rainy Street.
When Con goes full hillbilly.
Oh, yeah. No, I forget though. Like, were you sarcastically saying you didn't like this one, or do you just genuinely not like it?
The whole fact that he goes full redneck.
Yeah.
From a guy who runs logistics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird. But I can see him like snapping.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I want to slum for a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, people get like that way.
Yeah.
Like, people want to slum it like, oh man, I don't want to fucking do nothing today, man. Fuck this place. Huh?
Yeah.
Fuck y'all.
But not just like full on go mudding in big four wheelers with rednecks.
Yeah. Mudding. And for what for do we do it?
and I also found it
I-E
odd.
apostrophe.
One of so this is also the introduction of Tom Petty as
Yep.
is Lucky, but Trace Atkins also plays one of the main rednecks, and
Yeah.
he gets more voice time than Tom Petty does. Tom only gets like 1 or 2 lines in that entire episode.
Yeah, but they keep Trace Atkins too for later on.
Mm-hmm.
The
Yeah.
same guy.
But it's okay. Get y'all's opinion on this. Trace Atkins' character references Trace Atkins the entire fucking episode.
I think that's hilarious.
Like,
I do
okay,
too.
let's break into the CD joint and fucking steal the new Trace Atkins CD. It's shit like that.
I think that's hilarious.
Probably just pumping a new CD that was actually out too.
Oh yeah. No,
Oh, especially then, post 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
Country was kicking ass.
Where were you?
and
when I exploded attacks.
I would agree, because it's definitely a way for them to do the guest stars and it not be, hey guys, it's Tony Hawk. Thanks, Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
And last episode in the season, I think one of your genuine favorite episodes overall probably is Talking Shop.
This has like a bunch of famous actors in it. Mm-hmm. This is, I think, Lindsay Lohan's in this one.
Yep, Lindsay Lohan
Allison Hannigan.
and Laura Prepon is in this one.
Laura Prepon.
Yep.
And I forget, there's another one. Ava Adams is in, or no, Amy
Allison.
Allison.
Allison Hannigan.
No, I think Amy Adams is in it too.
Okay, well, she's not listed.
Allison Hannigan, old How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
American
I
Pie.
think this is when the show first started.
Okay.
Yeah, because it ran for like 13 seasons.
That's right. And I remember it being an early 2000s starting up. Yeah.
Weird show.
I enjoyed it. She wasn't Buffy. All
What an
those
asshole.
Yeah. I think everybody that was a teen actor in the 90s was on Buffy at one point or another.
I found out something about that. Dolly Parton kept that show alive.
I saw that the other day too.
Fucking what the fuck?
It's going to come to a point where we're just like, God damn it, Dolly Parton, quit being
I hope she lives forever. Fuck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
really. She needs to be a vampire. She is a vampire. And
She uses love
yes.
and bears.
And bears.
yeah, it's the one where Bobby winds up working as a
grief counselor.
Yeah.
Yep. He's on the road of Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
It winds up doing the one rule he's not supposed to, which is don't date the clients.
Yeah, he fucks his client.
Yeah, he kind of becomes the Butters trope on South Park with the kissing coupons.
Oh, come on, bitch. Don't you want to make some motherfucking
This is real
money?
motherfucking money.
That is a show we could talk about. That I would be like, I would blow through so fucking fast.
Yes.
Because I'd just be like, did you see what Butters did?
There's so many
Butters
seasons of that
Stotch.
show.
Anytime Bobby finds it in with girls, it just blows up in the worst way.
Like Butters.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the more I think about it, you're right.
Except without the, Professor Chaos thing.
I think Butters is on the borderline of becoming Ted Bundy one of these days before Bobby.
Yeah, but Hank is just hoping that Bobby takes auto shop. Of course he doesn't. But he winds up picking up this, again, Hank and all this fucking money, winds up picking up this fucking classic ass car for Bobby to work on.
Because he's got to earn it.
Yeah.
Come on, Bobby. Don't you want to fix up this car? Because you could put those sad bitches in there and get a little...
Get a little rub and tug there, Bobby.
I don't know, Dad. Fucking dang old Bobby, man, getting a rub and tug, man. Keep a towel.
Hey, what?
Keep a towel in the glove box, man, and keep that clean.
He went on for about 15 minutes. You watched Dale? Or Bill? Maybe.
The whole time, Bobby's like, Connie's got them bass hands. Got them little Asian hands.
And yeah, a nice little wrap up because essentially Bobby figures out the error of his ways because that girl goes full on psycho on his ass, leaving notes everywhere and I love Bobby, Bobby is mine kind of shit. And it's just kind
Kind of like how he put pudding on his body for Connie.
Meanwhile, this moment, Bobby's
I do like how love turns all these characters into Buffalo Bill.
yes.
Would you date me? Date me.
well, I mean, the thing is you have to remember.
That's what Bill's doing. Yeah, goodbye.
Well, it's that's the thing you have to remember though. Is being that young is so desperately in love, it can turn you fucking crazy like that sometimes. So for them to kind of touch on that a little bit, being look, it ain't just the adults that'll do stupid, crazy shit because you feel like you're in love. Yeah. The kids will do that shit too, including rubbing chocolate all over their body.
Bobby especially.
But yeah, nice little wrap up because Hank finally gets Bobby to chill. Do the fucking car thing. Quit talking to the crazy girls and work on cars.
I don't know what kind of car it was.
Let's see.
Good
if it has
question.
that up there. Maybe that'll be a trivia question. You never know.
It was a Ford.
All it says is Hank finds a wrecked car for Bobby to fix. I do remember the scenes in it. He's showing the. Oh, your phone's messing it up again.
That's what that static was.
Yeah, that's what the static is. But no, he shows the guys and they're like, well, can we at least pull the weeds out? He's like, no. What can we at least change out the spark plugs? No. And Dale is doing a dive into the engine and Hank's having to pull him out.
I just pictured Dale working on a car, just going let me see what's wrong with it. Just touches the engine. He goes ooh, that's a little hot. Yeah, it's definitely the engine. That's the extent of his work.
Engine's hot. No, so season 8. What would you guys think?
Season
of that?
8. That's kind of that that part of the series where it's just kind of trailing off a little bit because they're getting new writers, and this is the second season where they started becoming part of that animation domination along with Family Guy and all that.
I think animation domination has been going on for longer than you think, sir.
Although this was 2004.
Yeah, I was gonna say they've been doing that for
2004. That means Patriots. I think the Giants won the Super Bowl. So
That's
the Giants won the
right.
Super Bowl. So it's around the time American Dad came out.
Yeah.
So this is 3 or 4 years after. So yeah, they would have been 3 or 4 years after Family Guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
Family Guy came out in like 2001.
Family Guy came out in 2001, right after the Bucks won the Super Bowl. So we were on TV for a year and got canceled,
Yeah. Okay.
and then came back 2 years later.
yeah.
Yep.
And then that's when American Dad came on too.
And that's when they did. They brought back. Well, they didn't bring it back, but Simpsons was still going strong. Futurama. I'm trying to remember. There was another show. Because I remember the last episode of Family Guy. It was the atomic bomb episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it came on. That was the last episode, and it came on after the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So no. Yeah. I think animation
whole, like,
domination had to have been going on at least since 2001 or 2.
Oh yeah, because that's when it just became all animation.
Yeah.
They're all their Sunday
for
nights
the longest
thing.
time, it was like, what do you call it? Married with Children, Cops. You know that.
Yeah, they
that,
moved Cops to Saturdays.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
Friday night band. But growing up, it was like, oh shit, the Simpsons are on. Cops.
Yeah. King of the Hill. And
Some other degrading television that's not good for America.
Right. But this was just kind of there on that whole lineup, and it was now becoming that show that we were all talking about, our favorite episodes of as it, continued.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Already getting to that point where it's like, we don't watch it on the regular, but remember this one time with that one episode?
But still a solid season. I think this was one of the last like really good seasons possibly.
Yeah, because when I didn't like season 10 almost at all.
Yeah.
9, I can't think of it offhand right now for some reason.
Well, we can dive.
We'll get there in
into
a
that,
couple
yeah.
weeks, y'all. Well, for this episode of the Couch Brotatoes, I've been Alex.
Dang old Cap.
Happy birthday, Betty White.
Happy birthday,
Yeah.
Betty White.
Please sponsor our show.
And fuck you, Phil Spector.
Dead or in hell.
Dead or in hell.